I guess tell us about the neighborhood. Whoever would like to go first. You already mentioned the infrastructure. When did it start to change? When did people start moving out?
Actually, it started changing about the mid-'70s when they started building the Rosedale Street Bridge. They closed San Mateo, the main church, what, about 73, 74 maybe?
Oh, gosh, it's the early 70s.
Early 70s. It's about 73. I think it's when they, the old church, they knocked it down because they had extended Rosedale. They built the Rosedale Bridge, and they had to knock down all those houses there. It started like in the mid-'70s. And of course, we had to move our church services to the church hall. And of course, we had purchased some property which used to be an old Baptist church across the street. And that's where our church has been since then. And actually, heck, the neighborhood was more family oriented. Everybody knew everybody. It was such a small neighborhood, so we're all just one big family. You know, the thing that got us together was the church, especially when we have our church festivals. We would show up and we'd just have a great time, and it was great.
Was it a Catholic church?
Yes.
Was there a Baptist church in the area?
The church we purchased was Baptist.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just trying to piece together stories here. Was it San Mateo?
San Mateo.
Okay. And that's the one the Catholic church that purchased the Baptist church that was across the street?
Yes.
And turned it into a classroom building?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And actually, the church actually started at Senora Martinez's house on Locke Avenue, the corner of Locke and Spring Street. They would have church services there.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, she's still living. Her and Betty Gonzalez were the first lady that actually got San Mateo started.
Okay.
Because they would, from what I heard, they would walk from TP, they would walk all the way to St. Patrick's downtown just to go to Mass. And then the father would come, once
I don't.
a week, once every 2 weeks to their house to give Mass. And they convinced him to let's go ahead and build a church here in the neighborhood. And they did. And that was back in
The mid-'40s.
Mid-'40s.
Okay.
The church was built for the people, the Mexican community, Betty Gonzalez was the lady who used to work at St. Patrick's for Monsignor Donahue. And he asked her if she thought there was a need for a mission church to be built. And she said yes. And he came and he saw that there was a need for this church to be built because the services, like Medico was saying, was being held in a duplex house. One side the family lived, the Martinez, and on the other side was the empty side, and that's where they held Mass. And every once in a while they would bring catechists to come and teach in catechism. And when Monsignor Donahue saw that there was a need, he had the first church built. And it was facing Spring Street, which is now Pulido Street. That church was knocked down to make room for, like Medico said, the new bridge. And it was all, from that time to now, that bridge was the first sign of the new Chisholm Trail Tollway. It started back in the 60s, actually, when they paved all those streets. I told you they were dirt streets. They widened them because they knew that in the future there was going to be this big freeway being built. And my dad said to us, kids, after he met with the city planners and they had this big meeting, and he says, your mother and I will not live to see the freeway that's going to go through here, but it's going to take away a lot of this neighborhood and maybe even the church. And sure enough, over the years, little by little, people moved out. Houses were either literally picked up and moved to another location, or they were knocked down like our house. And And today there's 4 original houses and the church. We have a new church, and it's like, I say new, it's new to me.
About 15 years
It's
old,
about-
16.
Yeah. And so I'm like the cradle, the cradle person of that church. And so I've seen the history of that neighborhood, and information that I have gotten from the little old ladies that are my friends. They're my mothers now. And the things they have told me over the years.